Disclaimer, vlogs are strictly my opinion. Well, if you're a Danica Patrick fan, go ahead and dislike the vlog now. Because I am going to rip you. Pure and simple. What were y'all thinking when you voted for Danica Patrick to go in the All-Star race? The fan vote should not be a joke. And that's what it was last night. Danica Patrick in the All-Star race, she didn't deserve it. She finished 8th. Only 8th or 9th, behind one of the Burger King cars, and was not ahead of any well-funded teams. Now, granted, part of the problem is Stewart-Haas Racing is down this year, and I don't know why, because they literally have Hendrick Motors, Hendrick Chassis, same equipment that was up there running in the front with Jimmy Johnson and Kane. Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon run okay, but didn't get to the front. But they seem to be fast at times. But what were you thinking when you voted? And then she got in the All-Star race. Well, quite frankly, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I've said that before. But it don't bother me if certain people wreck. When Mark Martin spun, when Stenhouse got in the wall, I was hoping Danica would lose it and at least get in the wall enough to put... Actually, I was hoping something happened to the car, maybe she'd get damaged and go out of the showdown with the car too damaged to take the fan vote, because I knew she was going to get the fan vote. Granted, I voted for the Chivvies, except for Danica Patrick. You can vote more than once. And one of the ones I voted for actually raced his way in, Jamie McMurray. Oh, by the way, that's Hendrick equipment. She wasn't even close. In the All-Star race itself, finished 3rd to last. The only two behind her, Brad Keselowski, who broke something in the drivetrain very early, and Mark Martin, who went out late with crash damage. What were you thinking? What is the big deal about Danica Patrick? The only reason she's with Stewart-Haas Racing is GoDaddy is putting up that money. I mean, I wish GoDaddy would go sponsor a driver that could get something done. I don't care if it's in trucks, Nationwide, Cup, but get you a driver that can do something instead of a driver you know is gonna get you the publicity. Maybe a driver running up front would get you some publicity too, instead of perennial backmarker Danica Patrick. Yeah, she finished 8th at Daytona, but Daytona and Talladega is so much of a wild card. I mean, look at Talladega, David Reagan winning. And then at Talladega, she blamed somebody for the wreck. And a lot of people kind of thought, I'm not going to speculate on this because I'm not a driver, never really been a driver in any type racing except for some very limited street stock years back. But a lot of people that watched it said they thought it was her boyfriend, Ricky Stenhouse's fault. But why do you vote for Danica Patrick? Oh, granted, the way Daytona and Talladega is such a wild card, she could actually win one of those races. I was told the IndyCar race she won, which I read somewhere, was her only professional win. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I just read it somewhere on the internet. You know how that goes. But Danica Patrick, give me a break in the All-Star race. There should be some kind of rule that it has to be somebody in the top 5. You know. But that's just ridiculous. I mean, Montoya was faster. Had to come from the back. Menard, Burton. Any of them would have been better suited to go in. But no, you got to vote Danica Patrick in. I don't get it. What is the big deal? A good female driver would be good for NASCAR. Just as a good African American, Asian, Hispanic, although we got a few of those right now. I believe Almirola may be Hispanic. I'm not positive of that, so don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to that. But they'd actually be good for NASCAR. If Janet Guthrie driver of the caliber of Janet Guthrie would come along today. Oh, good grief. Because Janet Guthrie had some good runs in underfunded equipment. You gotta remember, Danica Patrick has never started a NASCAR race in underfunded equipment. Yeah, she drove for Junior, but, you know, I hate to say it, but you gotta look at the rich kids that get rides. And frankly, some people call Danica Patrick a rich one. Whether she is or not, I don't know. But give me a break. Don't vote her. I mean, Stenhouse, of course, he raced his way in. Best Buy was trying to promote vote him in, but he did a good job racing his way in. He didn't overextend the car trying to catch McMurray when he was in a spot to be in. But when you finish behind all the heavily funded cars, plus one of the Burger King cars, and that team just doesn't have the funding some of the others do, so I'm not knocking them, because they're putting the product on the track every week and running reasonable, and that's fine. But no, again, disclaimer, my opinion, if you're a Danica Patrick fan, go ahead and dislike the video. I don't care.